Hi guys, so today me and Bella did our very first dressage test together. It was just a little intro test at a test and teach event that was being held at our yard. So we got a little 30-minute lesson beforehand, and then we went in and rode the test. We also, because we got finished a little bit early, we ended up doing like half the test again, and the instructor was basically like, if you'd done this before, you would have done better with your marks. But I was still really happy, and we actually ended up getting the highest mark out of everyone by like 1%. So I'm pretty pleased with that, and I'm really pleased with how she handled the whole day. Oh, see here, I put Kevin Bacon on her feet for the first time. She totally didn't understand, and she was like trying to lick it off. She's such a special little creature. It was quite windy today, so we kind of went in and she was a bit unsettled, and she didn't really stand to let me get on her, which she's not done for weeks and weeks. But eventually, once I'd got her working, like, she ended up going quite nicely, and we had another lesson on Tuesday, so it'll be good now to go away for a couple of weeks and just work away on everything that we've kind of I've been taught, and then just see how we get on from there. This video is not as good quality because it was taken on my friend's phone and then she WhatsApped it over to me, so it doesn't look as nice, but you get the gist of it and you can kind of see what's going on. So we're still working on the same things. We're still working on the straightness and the consistency, and already watching this I'm like, Kat, shorten your reins and take a hold of your rein. Like, it's really frustrating to watch this, but it's also, when you're on top of it, it's also really hard to know what to do. So after I rode this test, what the instructor then had me do was she basically made me ask for not like shortening and lengthening her strides, but she made me make her go slower and then faster, and that seemed to really help her like come into a much steadier contact. So like you can see here, she's still like kind of chucking her head about. Like, honestly, if you've seen her before, it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be, but she's still like not quite as consistent in the contact as I would like her, obviously, because she's still like, the head's still in the air, it still goes out to the side. But anyway, yeah, so another thing that this instructor told me to do was she told me to imagine just cutting off all the corners on my test with her, and she was like, if you think about doing that, you'll end up actually riding a more accurate test, because I'm used to riding like Gypsy's like quite a short strided, very easy to handle horse, so I can ride her really deep into the corners and ride really accurately on my tests. But obviously with Bella, like, she's not as balanced, and she's also got a much longer stride, so it's much harder for me to do that. So that was one thing that I found really useful. She also chatted a lot about circle points, which I found quite interesting. So she was basically like, imagine you're riding the points of your circle, so like 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and use that to kind of guide your circle. And if you think about riding from point to point, cutting off the corners, you'll end up riding a more accurate circle, which totally ends up being true with Bella. So one of the comments that I got on this free walking along rein was, she was like, you should have let her stretch more, and like, I know that I should have let her stretch more, but equally when I'd practiced this, when I'd let her have like a full-on walking along rein, I couldn't get her back in time for that trot transition, so I ended up just sacrificing that part, and I was just like, right, we'll just get like a functional free walking along rein. Won't be the nicest, won't be the best marks, but at least I don't have her on the forehand for that trot transition. So yeah, and there's another part here, I think it's on this circle. So yeah, I was riding my circle points here, and then I had to let her stretch, and again the instructor was like, you should have let her stretch more, and I'm like, I know I should have let her stretch more, but equally when I'd done that in practice, she had just like fallen onto the forehand and I couldn't get her back and stuff. So yeah, I'm actually watching this back and it totally doesn't feel as bad as I thought it did. We got an 8 for this change of rein, which I'm really pleased about, because her contact was consistent, she was quite straight, she was quite level, so I'm really pleased with that. That was good. We definitely need to work on our transitions. Both our upward and our downwards transitions leave a lot to be desired. See that wiggle? That was a lot of wiggle, and we technically left the skill there, but you know, who's keeping track of that? But no, overall, for this being our first test together, like, I'm so pleased with her. She was really good. We got 66 8.3% overall, which I am chuffed with. I don't think it would be too hard to improve that, apart from, you know, the halts. Look at those halts. That is a terrible, terrible halt. Halt needs a lot of work, but, you know, we'll get there. And we got a little frilly for taking part. So all around, good day was had. Very, very pleased with her. And she was just fab. So hopefully you found that quite interesting, watching Bella do the dressage test and listening to what the judge said versus kind of what I've been told to do previously with her and stuff like that. I certainly found today useful. It was definitely good, just even having a different way to think about riding the test, like the whole being told to cut your corners off, like, goes against everything that I've ever been told about, like, riding a dressage test. But for Bella, like, it actually really, really worked. And just sometimes having someone tell you to think about things in a different way can really, really help. So yeah, no, I found today really, really useful. There's another test that's being held at the yard that's like an actual, like, yard competition, and that is, I would really like to do the prelim for that. I would really like to get her up and running to do that, because intro tests are so boring. Like, I literally learned that test like 5 minutes before I went in. So boring. And I must be doing, and her canter's funny, so I think next time we'll just do a prelim. And there's also a show that I've seen at the end of April that's being held at Sneck that I'm thinking of taking her to. I say that like I have the luxury of transport. I do not have the luxury of transport. I've booked my trailer test, but I do not yet have the luxury of transport. So I'm thinking about taking her to it if I think that it won't be a completely wasted effort, because I'll have to not only bother myself to take Bella all the way to a show, but I will also have to bother multiple other people to get her there in the first place. So I need to think whether or not that faff is even worth it. I think it'd be a really good opportunity, but I also don't know if I'm going to be pushing things. We'll just have to see how brave I feel in a few weeks' time. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any video ideas that you'd like me to do. There's a few things I am definitely going to do. I'm going to try and post something every week. We'll see how well that goes. I'm in London in a couple of weeks' time, so like that won't happen. But yeah, as ever, if you please give me feedback. I need to know whether or not this is useful, interesting, whether you enjoy listening to me chat shite about what I do on my horse. I mean, if you've made it this far, I'm guessing you are at least vaguely interested, so great. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you later.